So we actually have like different types of agents as well. Like it's not just one agent. So these agents can actually talk to each other. Like we have a design agent. We have an agent that's responsible for building like conditional logic. We have an agent that's responsible for doing like calculations within forms. So design and like emails, like take your page, or we have all these different kind of agents, and they are kind of they talk to the product using MCP. So the AI is able to talk to Jotform using MCP.
Hi, my name is Demetri Panici, and I'm a content creator, agency owner, and AI enthusiast. You're listening to the AI Agents podcast, brought to you by Jotform, and featuring our very own CEO and founder, Aytekin Tank. This is the show where artificial intelligence meets innovation, productivity, and the tools shaping the future of work. Enjoy the show.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the AI Agents podcast. In today's episode, we're talking about Jotform AI. It's a new release that we have for our product, and we're really excited to show it. So, with that being said, without further ado, Aytekin, how are you doing?
So yeah, we just released Jotform AI today, and what's really cool about it is that it's basically. Let me first tell you what it is. Jotform AI is an AI agent that lives in Jotform, like inside the software, right? We actually featured Notion AI, so it's pretty similar to Notion AI. Notion AI is always available as well, like you can see it on the right hand side or somewhere else. So Jotform AI is very similar. It lives inside Jotform, and whenever you have a need, it can actually help you. So it can help you three different ways. The first one is it can answer your questions. If you want to know how to do something, just ask questions. This is just regular, support, like AI agents. This is very common. The second one is it can actually do things for you. So if you ask it to do like find me an image, put that image on my form or something like that, whatever you request, like it can actually do it for you. And the third one is it also makes suggestions. Like, okay, here is a question you can, add. Like, you can suggest new questions. It can suggest new designs and next steps. So, what happened is that we have been during the beta period, we have seen that Jotform AI actually increases the onboarding success rate about 30%. So, I mean, like Jotform has the longest, so you know that like it's 20 years since I started Jotform. And the reason I started Jotform was actually I hated creating forms. Like I was working for this New York media company, and like we had over 100 websites, and our editors would always come to me and ask me to build a form. And I hated like manually creating forms, like manually setting up backends, emails, database, reporting, everything. It's just I hated it. And then my goal with Jotform was to make this easy so that it's like no code, like anybody can do it. Our editors who cannot code could like just use Jotform and then create their forms and do everything themselves, right? I wrote, and then as a team, like we rewrote Jotform 4 times, like from ground. Like Jotform is, we rewritten the form builder like 4 times from ground, and we did countless, improvements on it over these 20 years. But I don't think anything we did in the past had an impact similar to like Jotform AI had, like 30% success rate on onboarding. It's unheard of. And the reason is that Jotform AI is actually like, we have been developing it over the last year, and we have been like, the great thing about it is like we have been able to like see what's happening with our beta users, like what kind of requests they have and what kind of problems they encounter, and we were able to like help them solve all these problems, and that's probably why it became so well. Without further ado, I want to actually like just show you the like our page a little bit, and then I will do a live demo, and I will actually use voice. So one of the great things about Jotform AI is you can actually, while you are using Jotform, you can have this voice agent constantly available to you and constantly like helping you while you are doing things on the page, like while you are switching pages, things like that. So this is our Podo, and we had Podo for the last 10 years, right? Our mascot, and the inspiration for Podo came from Mailchimp's chip, right? Like Mailchimp was kind of a boring product, right? You could send emails, but it's just like this boring product where you know, create it and send emails. But the chip actually made it so powerful because the chip has had the personality, and you would never like leave Mailchimp for another product, even if it was better, because you didn't have the chimp there, right? So we had Podo for a long time, but I mean, over the years, like we kind of forgot about Podo. Like we stopped putting Podo everywhere. Like it was hard to find Podo. But then recently, over the last year, as our AI agents started to have this personality, we discovered that the personality we have for the AI agent was actually exactly the same personality we were thinking about, like Podo. So it was perfect match for our AI agent. So let me show you a little bit before I go to there. Right, you can create, customize, design, ask Poda anything, and like when you need to build forms, it's there to help you, you know, create those forms for you. And when you need to like set up payments, products, things like that, if you have like hundreds of products, that you can give it to Podo, and this is like most probably like the biggest use case is like people are like, you know, they're giving their like Shopify or something like hundreds of products, and then instantly they're able to import the Jotform. And Jotform is huge user base in terms of payments, because we don't add any additional like percentage. Like for example, if you use like, you know, Square or Stripe, like we don't add an additional percentage. It's just like whatever you pay, and then, you know, Jotform is already like very low monthly fee. So that means that like a lot of people will use Jotform to sell their products. So, you know, it can do more complex stuff, like if you need like conditional logic on your forms, and you know, it can actually do pretty much everything. But these are just some examples. You know, it can help you with the design, and it can, you know, if you need like QR code link for your form, just it can create it for you. If you want to create like a custom emails to send to people who fill out your forms, it can help you with that. Hmm. And obviously it has voice, and I'm gonna do a voice demo, and then like anything, like just, you know, phone settings or anything like that, it can help you too. So let's before I do the demo, I want to actually also share the you know, so basically we built Jotform AI on top of Jotform AI agents. So that's one of the reasons Jotform AI is so powerful, because we are kind of using our own product. So Jotform AI agents is a customer service product that you can use on your website. But over last year, we actually improved it so much, and it has so much additional features. It can actually do things on your web page. It can like you know, do all kinds of stuff. And and we did that because, you know, we were also building Jotform AI. So it has, you know, it's available, right? If you have like a SaaS product, or if you have a web page, you need something like Jotform AI for your users, for your customers. If you have an e-commerce site, you can actually build your own Jotform AI for your own product AI, whatever you want to call it. It's all available there. All the features we built for Jotform AI, we actually also back added to Jotform AI agents. So Jotform AI just got so much better because of that. So I'm gonna do the demo now. So that's so Podo is here. You know, I can type here, upload files, import a form URL or something like that. I can upload a PDF file. It will turn into a form, things like that. But I'm gonna use voice.
Hey there, what kind of form can I help you build today?
Hey Podo, how are you today?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. So, what form are you thinking about building today?
Are you already sick of me because I've been building so many forms?
Oh, no way. I'm here for all the forms you want to build. Keep them coming. I got you. What's next on your list?
Okay, I want to build a pizza party sign up form.
All right, building your pizza party sign up form now. Hang tight for a sec. Okay, so I'm starting by putting the title right at the top of the form. Now, I'm field you'll need, making sure they're all set up properly. I'm tweaking the wording a bit to make everything clear and easy to understand. All set! Your form's ready to go. Want to tweak anything or add something? Just say the word and I'll handle it right here.
So as you can see, we are still on this page on our form builder interface, and I can actually scroll up. I can see the form builder here. But my form is created. Podo, I have another request.
Okay, yeah, I see that. Let me see what's going on there. So, what's your new request for the pizza party sign up form?
Okay, I wanna like spice this form up. Like, can you give it some Italian vibes, like the colors, like green and stuff like that?
Italian vibes? I'm not sure I can do that directly. Let me see what's possible.
No, in terms of design, can you change the design so it has the Italian colors and vibes?
Yeah, I can help with that. Let me adjust the design for you with Italian colors and vibes. Okay, the form now has green backgrounds. Want a different shade?
No, it actually looks great. So I have another request. Like, do you see that how many people are attending question? If someone enters two or more, I want you to ask the name of the people who are going to be attending.
Oh, okay. So you want to add a question that asks for the names of attendees if the number entered is two or more. Let me see how to set that up for you. Okay, the form will now ask for attendee names if two or more people are attending. Want to change anything else?
Yeah, can you move it up a little bit? Like, move it below the how many people are attending question.
Yeah, I can move that question for you. 1 second. Okay, the names field is now just below the attendance question.
Can I preview the form now?
Yeah, let me pull up the preview for you. Here's how your form looks to respondents. You can copy the link at the top left to share it.
I don't actually like the background picture. Can you remove that?
Uh-huh. Let me take that background picture off for you.
Okay, yeah, it's gone. Um, yeah. So can you fill out the form for me?
Oh, you want me to fill out the form? All set. I filled out the form for you. Just review and hit submit when you're ready.
All right.
Might. Let me check that for you. Your form is filled out. Just review and hit submit to complete.
Yeah, I submitted. Can you spice up the thank you page a little bit?
Yeah, I can help spice up your page. Let me see what I can do. Okay, I've made the thank you page look nicer with a warm gradient, shadowed icon, and better fonts. The icon now has a filled background at the top for a balanced look. Want me to tweak it more?
Can you resubmit the form so I can see it?
Yeah, let me resubmit that for you so you can see it. Okay, the form is filled out. Just review it and hit submit to complete the test.
All right.
Okay, sounds good.
So, yeah, this was great, Podo. Thank you very much.
Anytime, happy to help. Let me know if there's anything else.
Bye bye.
Bye, have a great day.
All right, so that was pretty cool. You got to make a form like from scratch in that way. I am curious, what do you think is the, I guess, approach that you took in more specificity in regards to helping with onboarding, right? You said that you asked a bunch of questions, right, as to what is the things that would make onboarding better. What actually did the people say was needed? What was kind of the hard part, because that's a big increase, 30%. And this, I could see the interaction. It's really easy to just be like, oh, can I have this? Oh, can I have this? But what specifically did you get response wise that gave you the abilities of what you have right now with Poto and Jotform AI?
Yeah, we measure the success rate by number of people who are actually, signing up at Jotform and then creating their first form and like kind of like using that form, like receiving form submissions, things like that. That's how we measure that 30% increase. And uh, I think the main reason is that no matter how much we tried, like our goal was always been to like create the world's easiest form builder, right? Over the 20 years. But no matter how much we tried, there are some people who weren't able to figure it out. Sometimes like people are busy, they don't have the time to learn Jotform. So I think the improvement is this. This is kind of like talking to uh someone, like, talking to someone and telling them, okay, can you build me a form? It's like you're not actually learning a user interface. You're not learning a new product, because no matter how good the product is, you still have this learning curve. And with AI agents, we have this opportunity that you know, it's just like vibe coding, right? I just vibe coded my form. I vibe designed my form, and I don't have to like when you're vibe coding, you don't have to know how to code. You don't have to look at the code. This is very similar. You don't have to learn Jotform to use Jotform now, because we now have as this interface. And I love voice because like there's like so many people who are like who are disabled, who are you know they have like old age, right? It's just bad eyes, like but all those things, like just voice is so powerful because it's just so natural, because we are all like we are used to talking, right? We are used to describing what we want, and just typing the same thing is like so painful. That's why I love the voice. Like I've been always like using like talking to Podo every day over the last like few months. I've been talking to Podo every day because I really enjoy like using the product over voice. And voice usage is actually pretty low. So when we look at those 30%, it's only like less than 10% is using voice, mostly text based, but still, right? People are able to upload, like they enter their Google form and import it to Jotform. They upload a PDF file. They take a picture of a paper form and instantly see it turn into a like a Jotform form, online form. And so it's just so powerful that you can just describe what you need, or just tell, okay, look at this web page, like just give the URL, and then I need a similar form, and that's it. And also people also use the suggestions a lot. People like they say, okay, can you suggest me more questions for my form, things like that. And one of the things that we have seen, like when we interview people, is that they actually love the suggestions AI is coming up with, because AI has this knowledge base. Sometimes AI actually knows their business better than them, because AI actually, like, if let's say you're in some business like plumbing or something, right? You know your business, but you have been always, have this same, you have been repeating the same things, right? But then AI actually has probably read hundreds or thousands of plumbers talking about their, business. AI actually has a better perspective than someone who has been doing plumbing for like 20 years, because, you know, it can compare other people as well. Like it has all the knowledge from the, internet, uh, from the training data. So I think that, it's hard to explain. AI is so powerful, hard to explain how it's performing so well. But and it's so much fun. Like I don't think I've ever worked on a product this much fun before. Yeah.
I'm curious, what do you think is so you're saying like 10% obviously are using the voice, which, obviously it's some usage. It's not as much you'd probably hope to expect since you find so much joy in it. What are some of the other like uh barriers that you think people are having to overcome when they're making these types of forms? Because I agree with you. It seems like a lot of young people probably would be maybe easy to just build forms like me, just kind of go in there, learn the product. But with this product and with other products, you're probably going to start seeing a trend of like vibe working. right? You're not going to actually have to build stuff. Software is a little less, I guess, click around needed and a little bit more just like knowing what you want. So speak to that a little bit and maybe some of the responses you've heard from people so far in testing.
I definitely agree with you about vibe working. Like, when I was young, I actually built like so many websites. Like I enjoyed building websites, but like I abandoned them over the years because I didn't have time to like, deal with problems like they were broken or things like that. I had to close them down. And then when I picked up Codex and Cloud Code, when I started vibe coding websites, like I just rebuilt those websites from I found the old files and I just gave it to them, to the AI, and it rebuilt it. And then I started vibe coding. I also started building new websites because it's just so easy. All I have to do is like just say, okay, I need this, and then the cloud code is working for like 40 minutes doing something or something, 20 minutes, and then just doing it for me. And then all I have to do is like give feedback and improve it, right? So when the work becomes this easy, when the work actually turns into describing what you need or giving feedback, it's just you can actually do so much more. And I feel like that's what's happening, right? Some people who are building forms, they actually have a big need, right? They need a form right now, so they need to. And at Jotform, people build over 1 million forms every month. So they need a form right now, but if they really need it, like they can just drop everything and then they can build their form. But let's say they need a form, maybe they want to put a form on their website, hopefully tomorrow, next week, next year, whatever. In those cases, like learning a new product, setting things up, doing everything, it's just too much work. But just going to an AI and prompting what you need is just instant, and then you get whatever you want. And as you have seen in the demo, it's just that easy. So basically, what happens is that when something becomes easier, when something's become faster and easier to do, people actually do it a lot more. And when something is hard to do, less people are able to do it, and then they do it less often. But when you make something easy, uh, like just easy as like talking, then more people actually do it. That's what we are seeing. People are able to. They just describe. They just type like, and we are also an interesting trend. Even though they are like, putting a prompt on an AI, they are actually going to ChatGPT or something else that they use. They are actually prompted there, and then they are actually copying the output to our AI. And they don't actually have to do it, but maybe they wanna preview it or something. I don't know. That's something we also see a lot. So also people are actually using ChatGPT now, and then they just want to be able to create a plan with like ChatGPT or Cloud, and then just copy it to the products, and they expect products to do it now. So I expect that in a year or two, every product has to have an AI like that, just like Notion AI, just like Jotform AI. I think every product has to have this because it's just so much easier, faster, and more flexible.
I have a question right now about kind of how this works, like from a tech standpoint, and this makes me curious, what it kind of changed in, obviously we have this AI in general that is able to do large language model things, but what kind of changed from a tech standpoint to allow for products to now be able to move components around and like vibe code? Is it just the fact that like the large language models in the back end are like able to, at a reasonable cost, mini code different things, like how for your forms, for example, I'm sure it's just different HTML or CSS or whatever, just kind of being moved around and placing different. How does that kind of go from being totally unfeasible to the standard
Yeah,
so
it's actually
quickly?
3 letters. 3 letters. MCP. So
MCP, okay.
basically, uh, we actually added MCP support for everything on Jotform. That's kind of like having an API that kind of means that our AI agents, Jotform AI agents, can now we built Jotform AI using Jotform AI agents. So we actually have like different types of agents as well. Like it's not just one agent. So these agents can actually talk to each other. Like we have a design agent. We have an agent that's responsible for building like conditional logic. We have an agent that's responsible for doing like calculations within forms. Um, so design and like emails, like thank you page, or we have all these different kind of agents, and they are kind of they talk to the product using MCP. So the AI is able to talk to Jotform using MCP, because Jotform provides this MCP layer, which is like an API. So um, basically, all we have to do is like make sure that we support a feature on MCP for Jotform AI, for Podo to be able to actually do those tasks. So when you do it that way, it's actually very easy. And we added MCP support to Jotform AI agents. So this is actually something every product can do. Like if you have like a SaaS product, if you're watching this, if you have a SaaS product, you can take Jotform AI agents, and if you already have an MCP, you can build like your own product AI, probably like in 15 minutes, because you already have the MCP, and you can just embed like Jotform AI just on your web page, website, product, and be able to use MCP to let your AI agent to use the product. So um, I think it's just amazing. It's just basically it's kind of like using Lego to build stuff. This also meant that means that like all these features are also available on like products like ChatGPT or Claude, because you can actually connect to your Jotform's MCP. So instead of using Jotform AI, you can also use Jotform without ever visiting Jotform. You can go to ChatGPT, and if you go to the App Store and if you search for Jotform and install the app, you can do everything just by prompting ChatGPT. You can say like, build me a pizza party sign up form on Jotform, and it will do the exact same thing. It will actually use the same exact MCP protocol API calls. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. You know what? I think that was something that was on my mind for sure, but I wasn't quite sure how that played in because obviously you've been able to, with a lot of products for a long time, been able to build components, move things around through the API, and you can kind of see the magic play out if you had a good like automated sequence or something like that. But now you can literally just chat to it and it can interact with it. I think MCP is something that's definitely going to change more and more in the future. How do you feel like products are going to continue to integrate in-app type of AIs versus the external sort of Claude MCP interaction? And how do you think people are going to work generally? Do you think it's going to be more from one, I guess, LLM like Claude, and then they interact with MCPs? Do you think it's going to be mainly going into products and interacting with their AIs, a mix of it? What do you think?
My guess is that app stores like ChatGPT App Store is gonna be as big as like mobile app stores, like the iOS App Store or like the Android stores. So when that happens, it's actually more people will be using the products from within AI, as opposed to going to the product website and then using an uh, AI agent like Jotform AI, like Podo. Um, but I think it's gonna take a while to get there. It's gonna take probably like a couple of years. The other thing is like this allows AI agents to also use products, right? Right now, an AI agent that you're working with, right? Let's say you're wipe coding on Cloud Code or like Codex, and then you ask for you ask it to like build a form and edit your website. That's it. You ask that, and then it can actually use these connections, and then using MCP, it can create the forms and everything. So it's like it's not even the people who are using these. They may not even go to the LLMs. They might actually be wherever they are doing their vibe working, they are going to be able to use the product from within. So you're not going to go to Notion. You're not going to go to Zapier. You're not going to go to Jotform. you are gonna be wherever you are vibe working, you are gonna be, instruction there, and then your AI agent is gonna use those products for you, and it's gonna handle all the things for you, and just uh, you may not even need to use LM. Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think is the best? What do you? I would say, what do you think is the best? I know we talk about a lot of products. We show a lot of products here. What do you think is the best product right now for vibe working in general to connect with all these different tools?
Codex.
Oh, okay.
Even if you are not writing code, it's so much faster. OpenClaw is probably better, but I wasn't able to like trust it. You were able to trust it. You built
Yeah, I
your
did build
whole.
the thing with it, and I think truthfully though, I do think some of these flagship companies are catching up, and then have maybe surpassed it. I think Claude's pretty good. What about Codex? I'm curious because we didn't get a chance to chat about it last week.
So what's up with Codex is I think it's better than Cloud Code, and it's faster, and it's just getting things done. And even if you are not building a website or a product or a software, even if you are like, doing your own work, let's say you need to create a presentation, or you need to answer a customer, or whatever you are trying to do, basically you can still use these products. You can build internal tools for yourself, and what happens is that you just describe what you need to do, and it will actually install software on your computer if it's necessary. It's going to use the existing software you have. It might even use the online products that you use, and it just gets things done for you. That's my experience so far. You know, but I'm not using OpenClaw. Like I tried it for a while, but it was too wild for me. Uh, I should have bought a Mac Mini like you did. Uh, but yeah, I think it's just it's still out there. Like it's still it's not clear who is gonna be the winner. I think these things are changing every day. One day OpenAI is ahead, and another day is Cloud is ahead, another day is like OpenClaw is ahead. So things are changing every day because these companies are like competing and releasing every day, every week, and they're also writing code with AI. That's why they are so fast. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do think it's changing incredibly fast. And it's crazy how much we say Claude today, we say I guess Codex tomorrow. We're gonna just keep changing what it is, and I do think for varying reasons they're all really, really good. And trying them all out is, I think, is fair and should be done by everybody because these preferences are going to change. But going back to kind of jot form one more time to kind of close things out, what are you most looking forward to with everybody trying this out? And how do you think this is going to change the type of usage on your product? Do you feel like you're going to see a spike in usage and people making more forms because it's just so much easier? Or how do you feel like it's going to change?
I feel like right now we are focused. We have been focused on last year we were more focused on being able to answer the questions people ask, and right now 80% of our support is taking care of Jotform AI. So it took over the support from most of our support team, and our support team is like more like they are doing live chats, they are doing like the final answers, so they have more time to provide much better service and faster. Our response time went down to like 15 minutes from like 1.5 hours, and then 80% of our support is handled by Jotform AI. So I think that was the first one. I think we handled that really well with the help of Jotform AI agents. um, the second one was like just the product we released, Jotform AI. It doesn't just answer questions; it also does things for you. It's actually handling the product for you, doing things for you. So we are gonna continue improve it. But one of the things that we are gonna be focusing on the coming days is to actually um, getting the our AI agent Podo to be able to actually help you like with more suggestions. Like let's say you are stuck, or let's say you're not even like talking to AI, but you are rage clicking because you are having a problem or something, right? And then the AI, like Podo, should be able to try to figure out what's happening. Why is this user is not happy? What kind of problem they are having or where they are stuck. So being more proactive instead of just answering questions or requests, can we be more proactive and make suggestions to the users, right? That's going to be one of the areas that we are going to focus on next. But our goal is always to make sure that, especially on onboarding, make things so easy that people are having fun creating more forms, you know but we are also going to be releasing more pieces to the Jotform AI. We have many other pieces that are still in the beta period, so in the coming months we are going to release those additional uh products as well. But yeah, I'm not gonna tell you beforehand, but it's I prefer just having surprise announcements.
Oh, we
Yeah.
will. Don't you worry about it. We'll keep it private, but I appreciate you for kind of teasing it. And yeah, is there anything else that you kind of want to say? I feel like we've covered pretty much everything about the new update.
Yeah, I think this is the feature. Just being able to like instead of learning stuff, right, you are able to get help from AI. And this is great. Some people are worried that we are not learning. But why should you learn Jotform if you can use Jotform without learning it? If you can just talk to AI. And here's the thing: when people actually get easy wins, those early wins, they actually invest more on the products. So when they can actually become successful using Jotform, that what we are seeing is that they're actually using it more. They are learning it more because as you saw on the demo, when Podo is changing things, it's actually showing you the new versions, like what is changing, like how it's submitting the form, thank you page, things like that. So you're actually kind of not using the product, but you're still learning the product, but you're still getting the success. I think it's great. It's amazing. So we are gonna have more fun and discover more ideas, and we are gonna announce them in this podcast in the coming months as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. So with that being said, everyone make sure to go check out Jotform AI. That's Jotform AI. It's going to be something that blows your mind, changes the way that you work with forms, and makes you love Jotform that much more if you've already used it, and love it for the first time if you haven't. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
See you the next time.